not in front of anyone.
You're fine.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I decided that since I was visiting home, I would have my father, the king of baking bread, kind of walk us through how to make it.
So today's Stella's birthday.
It is.
And I'm celebrating that with her, and we're having lots of fun, so she wanted to do this video. I started last year, 2019 in January, and created a starter, so it's been going ever since. And so now what we've done is fed our starter, and now we're getting ready to do the auto lyse, which is combining the flour and water so it'll have a better bonding agent after about an hour. And then we'll add the sourdough starter to it and a few other ingredients that we'll talk about. So we're looking forward to having fun with you guys. So with my starter, what I like to do is use a ratio of about 1 cup of flour and a ½ cup of water. So I like mine to be a little bit more liquid and a lot thinner. So that gives me a better consistency of the kind of bread that I want. So now we're going to start the process of auto lyse. It's bad, stop. Making sourdough bread is very artistic, and you try to find what flavors and what types of consistencies you like. And I'm using this recipe here from King Arthur flour, and I've modified it just a little bit so I could get the moisture that I like in my sourdough. We're going to start the auto lyse here, and that calls for 5 cups of flour and 1 3/4 cups of lukewarm water. So I'll combine those, but usually what I do is take out an extra cup, maybe a ½ cup of flour, and then I'll add more sourdough to that. This recipe calls for 1 cup of the right-fed sourdough starter. So I usually put in about 1½ cups of my sourdough starter. And I use just regular tap water, but our water has a filtration system, so it takes a lot of the impurities out, and I find that it works really well with this type of baking. Now we give it a good mixing with a bread hook. Nice and low speed. So we'll mix this about a minute to a minute and a half, and it'll be a tacky, thick consistency.
Do you want to flip that?
Yes. So now after about a minute and a half, we just kind of pull it all down in and push it together and create a nice little ball of flour. And now we cover it for 1 hour. See you in an hour. Now let's try that again. I love so hard.
What are you doing?
I use about 1½ cups because we did 4½ cups on the flour, regular flour, and then it called for 5 cups, so I added an additional ½ cup here of the starter. And it's nice and creamy and smooth. I feel like it's extremely active, so that's the way I like to have. And I'll add a little bit more flour to that until I get the consistency that I want. So now we'll add 2 teaspoons of the diastatic malt. And the malt acts like a sugar so that the yeast really get excited about that. And it also gives it a little bit of a malty flavor, which I love malt. It's one of my favorite flavors of all of the grains. And then we go for a tablespoon of the salt. And again, you can salt to taste, but usually I do a good heavy dose of 1 tablespoon of the salt. And now we're going to get our hook again. Place it back on. Lock it in place this time. And a good smooth mixing. This is going to be a very sticky dough, and I like mine nice and sticky and moist. Okay, so now based on this consistency, I'm going to add just a hair more flour to that to give it a little bit more thickness. Maybe another third of a cup, and I think that'll give it a little bit more thickness. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So now as you see, it's nice and moist still. It's a little bit gooey, but it's got a good bit of moisture in it, and that's the way I like it. And let this set for an hour, and then we begin the folding process, and we'll fold it about 3 times. So now we fold the bread. It's been relaxing for an hour. I take a little bit of moisture, put it on the table, and then we'll take our dough out.
Did you clean that table off?
I did.
With soap and water?
I did.
Okay.
Here's my favorite part.
Wait.
I'm gonna do it too.
Mom!
Don't worry.
So now we're going to knead the bread and fold it. And you can see there's still some lumps in it. And as we go through this process, it'll begin to bind much better. So now we put it back in for another hour, and we'll come back and fold again. After 17 hours of sitting in the refrigerator, what we're going to do now is let it come to room temperature and lay it out here on the counter so it can expand. And as you can see, those nice air bubbles forming in here. It's getting a good texture, nice and smooth. I keep a nice wet, moist hand so I can work the dough so it doesn't tear. Comes out nice and smooth, and form it to a nice ball like this, and then we'll be able to work with it. And let it sit here and expand more, and after that it'll be ready to bake. So I'm excited, it's looking really good, and I'm glad Stella's here doing this with us. Hi. Now we're ready to bake, and we're going to lightly grease our French oven.
Dutch oven.
Dutch oven, thank you. French, Dutch, you know, a little flour in here. I like to tighten it up just a hair. And we take our lame and we deeply cut in and make a slash, so that we can get some of the air coming out. Put our top on, put it in the oven for 45 minutes, uncover it. Last 15, we'll brown the top, and then we're ready to go. Okay, now we're going to take the top off of the Dutch oven just to get a little extra brown.
my God. Your masterpiece.
Hi, good morning. So we let the bread stay out overnight, and now it's time to cut it and taste it. We want to use a nice serrated edge knife for cutting. And now it's the moment of truth. Got a really nice crisp crust to it. Nice and chewy texture. Nice and airy. The moment of truth.
I hear the crunch.
So good. Enjoy.
I just want to say thank you to my dad who helped me make this video. It was so much fun filming you bake your bread, which tastes absolutely delicious. I wish that we lived in the same city so I could eat that bread all the time. Thank you all for watching. I will have the recipe that my dad used linked down below, and have a great day. I'll see you next time.